A teacher sex scandal in Texas is making headlines now nationwide. Former math teacher Haley Way is accused of having inappropriate relationships with two 17-year-old students. She posted bond after being arrested last week and has been ordered to stay away from both students. Crimesider's Graham Cates is here. And Graham, I'd like you to explain how this came to light, because it's kind of interesting. The first victim really wasn't her first victim, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, there's some overlap between the two victims. She had kind of long-term relationships with both of them over the course of the summer and fall. The first victim told police, according to police, that she met him at a student ministry program, and that they quickly became close enough that this summer she went with his family on a trip to Africa. And police say that that's when they first became intimate, and then they had a kind of lengthy sexual relationship. But then the student said that he broke down and told his parents about it after he heard rumors about her going on a hike with the second student. And then police interviewed that student, and that student said, yeah, this hike happened, and there was sexual intercourse there also, according to police. And he also said that there had been rumors kind of throughout the school that this was going on after one of their friends went into his Instagram account and found proof of it. And this is, again, all according to police.
Yeah, this was messaging, and it sounds like, according to police, that she actually asked the student to delete that messaging at some point in time.
Right. In both cases, police say that there were communications between her and the students about, in one case, why are you talking to the police? In another case, make sure no one gets access to your cell phone or Instagram.
So you talked to Haley's attorney. What is he saying?
Yeah, his name is Larry Sauer. He's saying basically this case is still in its infancy. They haven't actually filed an official indictment yet, so he hasn't gotten to see any of the evidence. One of the interesting things that he noted to me is that he's actually worked a few cases like this where a teacher is charged with improper relationship between an educator and a student. And he said that this one has gotten way more attention. And he said, I think because she's an attractive young woman, it's drawn a lot of attention.
Well, we've seen this in other cases where it's an attractive woman. It does get a lot of attention.
Yeah, I mean, there's, especially with educators. I mean, and he was saying, what he said to me was, I've worked cases where there were male educators and it didn't. But this is the one that everyone's talking about.
So she's charged with improper relationship between student and teacher. Do we know how the consent laws work in Texas?
Yeah, it's an interesting charge. In Texas, the age of consent is 17, and both of these victims are 17 years old. And this was a law that was basically designed specifically to address high school students that are between the ages of 17 and 18 because they're above the age of consent, but they're still in school. And obviously, if a teacher is involved with someone younger than that, this law also gets thrown on as one of the charges, but it's really to get that gap.
Okay, so what happens next in the case?
So we're waiting for the indictment. At that point, the lawyer is going to ask for a discovery, which is to look at all the evidence. In the meantime, she's being monitored by GPS. She's out on bond right now, and we're just seeing where the case goes from here.
Are there concerns there could be other victims?
Police haven't said if they're looking into that. I mean, it's definitely something that they're exploring. But in the affidavit so far, they've identified two people, and both from the last summer and fall.
Okay, Graham, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. Interesting case. All right, after the break, we're going to talk with another researcher who's been looking into sex scandals between teachers and their students when we come back.